Hello, good morning, students. So it's our third day for our review week. Okay, so here's a short clip again, okay, that you need to watch and listen carefully so we could answer the questions later, right? So here it is.
This happened when I was 17 years old. I would go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ride the bus home. It was a Sunday and I had just missed my bus, so I had to wait longer for another one. I would have called my parents, but they were out for the evening, and taxis charged more, so I decided to sit and wait in the bus shelter. It was a cold night and snow had just started peppering the ground. My bus was taking longer than usual, so I got my phone out and listened to some music. Almost an hour had passed. It was freezing and I hadn't seen anyone at all. That was until I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. It was a creepy guy dressed in thick layers of clothing, walking slowly towards me. I knew staring at him would draw more attention, so I just focused on my phone. He sat down at the other end of the shelter and just stared at me. There was something off about him. He seemed like he was either drunk or on drugs. He then asked,
"When is the bus due?"
I took out my earphones and said, "I think it's delayed, because of the snow." He stared at me for a while, then started mumbling to himself. He was really starting to creep me out, so I pretended to be on my phone. After a couple of minutes, I took another look. He'd moved closer to me. I looked away for a second, then heard the sound of him sliding even closer. I turned to him and said, "You okay there?" He stared at me with glossy eyes, lifted his arm and leaned towards me. Immediately, I grabbed my bag and ran as he fell to the ground. I ran down the road trying my hardest not to look back. I kept going until I got to the next bus stop. I turned around and checked to see if he was there. He was gone, so I went to sit down. Feeling relieved, I rested my head on the back of the glass and waited for the bus. I jolted and turned around to see the same guy staring at me through the glass.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Then he started walking around the shelter towards me.
I'm warning you, stay back!
I yelled in panic as I was backing up. I wanted to run, but I left my bag in the shelter and I couldn't leave without it. Suddenly, the man leaped at me and I quickly moved out of the way. He fell to the ground face first. I froze in shock, then noticed the blood coming from his face. I tried to get a response out of him, but nothing worked. I called the police and paramedics and they arrived shortly after. I told them what had happened and they told me that the guy was on prescription drugs. They found a photo in his wallet of him and his son. The boy looked just like me, so we assumed he thought I was him. I later learned that he had lost his son in a custody battle and went off the rails. He was taken away for treatment, and that was the last I saw of him. I got my driver's license shortly after, and have never been on a bus since.
All right, so we have here the words or the phrases from the story. Okay, the first one is bus stop. Bus stop. Okay, and the next one is creep. Creep. And we also have lean. Lean. Okay, and the next one is blood. Blood. And we have the prescription drugs. Prescription drugs. And we also have the rails. Rails. Okay, so this is the story. This incident happened to a boy when he was 17 years old. He would go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ride the bus home. It was Sunday. He missed his bus, so he had to wait longer for the next one. He didn't call his parents because they were out and didn't took the taxi because it's expensive. So he was sitting at the bus stop in a cold night and snow started peppering the ground. Hours passed, but the bus didn't came. He hadn't seen anyone. Then he noticed a guy dressed in thick layers of clothing walking towards him. The guy was staring at him. He looked like he's drunk or on drugs. The guy is starting to creep to him. The man is moving closer to him, lifted his arm and leaned towards him. So he ran, but the man fell on the ground. The boy sat on the other bus stop. A few minutes later, the man came again. The man is leaning towards him again, but the boy moved backward, so the man fell with his face on the ground. Blood came out from his face. The boy called the police. The police said that the man is in prescription drugs. So the man thought that this boy was his son. He lost his son in a custody battle and went off the rails. Okay, so we have here the questions. Number 1, how often does he go to the gym? 2, what day did the incident happen? 3, why didn't he call his parents? 4, why didn't he take the bus going home? 5, did he waited too long for the bus to arrive? And 6, who came to him while waiting at the bus stop? 7, what did the man do to the boy? 8, what did the boy do so the man can't hurt him? And 9, what did the police said about this man? Alright, for a chit chat, what are your hobbies? So you can say, my hobbies are playing guitar and listening to music. And what is your favorite animal? So my favorite animal is elephant. Alright, so that's all for today. Thank you and goodbye.